YouTube, this is a video for the Jetski dual jet ski lift. Found this on eBay for $800 and free shipping. This unit is a manual crank, meaning that you crank up the handles on either side. It comes in a single or a dual, and you could visit www.jackstock.com and you might save a few dollars by purchasing it direct there. However, I opted to buy it on eBay, and after I purchased it, I went on their website just to look at my purchase, and I saw that they had an electric motor option. This is a hand crank unit, meaning you can crank it up by hand, or with the optional motors, you have the ability to use a remote control to lift the skis up and out of the water. I have it configured right now at 16 inches of depth at the lowest point, so it can go down an additional 4 inches, and I added the electric motors, but I also did some customization on this unit, and I could show you what I did here. When I originally bought this unit, I have about 150 feet from my water line to my home, and because it's 12-volt battery powered, I was thinking I'm going to have to run a cable out here to charge the battery when it has a problem, when the battery dies. So basically what you have here is you have a battery box, and I'll uncover that for you now. You have a battery box which contains a battery, obviously, and you must supply your own battery box. I opted for this unit. This has USB. It also has a cigarette lighter plug on it as well, which is here, and it also has circuit breakers and a meter to determine how much energy is in the battery. The Jetski unit comes with its control box. This is a part of the optional motor assemblies, and the control box here is basically relays and a transmitter and receiver. I used conformal coating on all the boards, so these boards are all sprayed with conformal. These parts are easily obtainable for replacement on Amazon. If you know what you're looking for, it's easy to find, and it comes with this little remote here that I'm showing you for up and down, keyed switch on and off, which they give you a small key, and also all the hardware is included. So they give you the bolts, they give you the nuts, they give you everything you need. Now, when I purchased my unit, I noticed that the center supports here were open, meaning there was nothing there. So I opted for these two additional supports to put the feet down for center support, and this is how it comes with those. But also what I did was, this is an exact 2-inch pipe, square pipe that fits perfectly over the top. And what I did was I went ahead and I added solar power. So I added 200 watts of solar power, and I used the fake MPPT controllers that I purchased on eBay. They were about $12 each, and you can see that now the battery is fully charged at all times. Quick disconnects for both sides, so you can disconnect the PVs and also the battery. And this unit is completely standalone. So these pipes weigh 46 pounds. This is 2-inch steel with 3/4 bars across the supports, and it goes directly down onto the leg structure, which stands approximately 2 feet above the base. So this is very secure. We get high winds here, and this is good for at least 40-50 mile an hour winds with no trouble. It's completely removable, and it uses MC4 connectors to disconnect. So you simply pop the MC4 connectors with the tool, and this entire assembly completely lifts off the frame and it could store flat. I used bolts and a cross member here, so these could be loosened, the panel could be flattened, and the entire unit can be stored downwards, meaning you could put it on the ground flat, or you could stand it up against a wall, and it weighs approximately 65 pounds complete. These are 100-watt panels. They charge the battery within 7 minutes. After you use the unit, it recharges the battery in 7 minutes. So I have no problems at all with energy. I'll never have to charge this unit. The battery is going to be pretty much self-maintained. So that's how the unit is set up. What I did was, we have a lot of no-seams here where they're little basically gnats, and I went ahead and I added the Rule IL 280, and what this allows me to do is this drops down in the water. It gives me a garden hose attachment with 14 pounds. I have a switch on the battery box where I could turn it on, and we could spray down the jet skis and the covers and get all the gnats off it, or you could use it to cool the seat down. If it's sitting in the hot sun, you simply spray some cool water on it, and that will allow the unit to cool off the seat for you. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to do a quick test. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the unit here. So we're going to put the key in. We're going to turn it on, and that's on. At this point, I'm going to close this box panel up. Now this is a watertight seal. However, again, for added safety, I went with a conformal coating. And what we're going to do now is we're going to use the remote control, and we're going to raise the unit up. So right now it's at 16 inches to the top of the boards. We're just going to hold this. The motors will begin to spin, and you can see that there's some safety for pinch protection here. And the unit is lifting. It's not very fast, so it's a slow lift, so it's safe. You don't have to worry about your skis tipping over if it goes up too fast. So we're just going to hold this now, and as you can see, it's coming off the ground. Legs are raising. One thing I didn't like is it's not automatic. You have to hold the button the entire time, which is basically the same as a winch. It is a winch controller, actually, in and out. So it's, again, easy to replace. Once the unit is raised up, if you overshoot the travel, it will automatically stop. And you have to reset the control panel just by simply turning off that key and then going ahead and turn it back on. So as you can see, it's about a minute lift. And then once it hits the top range, I don't recommend doing this, but I'll let it do it this time. It will auto stop. And there it is. So that's the top level, as you can see, that it's now off the ground. And we'll go over to the panels, and you notice that now the charge controllers are showing the PVs are charging the battery again. Drop down to 12.4, 12.5 volts. And in about 7 minutes, this will completely recharge that battery right back up. Now, the nice thing is we've added some extras because of the battery box. A lot of times I've come out and my powerboat battery is dead. Or if you have a jet ski battery that's dead, basically you can use a jumper cable. This is a 9-foot cable. And what it does is it plugs right into the battery box up there, and then you could charge your battery. You could keep it on a tender if you want with the solar energy, so it gives you power. I'm also going to be adding some bubblers, so for the winter I could leave this in the water and the air pumps will just bubble. You know, again, all solar, low voltage, 5 volts, and it'll keep the ice from forming around the legs. And that's really, I mean, a nice setup for $800. I added approximately, I would say $600 in options for all this. The panels were $149 on Amazon. The controllers, the box was about 40 bucks. The steel was 119. The rule pump was 40. The battery was 58, which now batteries are getting up there in price. And, you know, the obvious things, tie wraps and things like that, solder, connectors. But all in all, I would say I'm right at about $1,300 to $1,400 in overall cost, which is a fourth of what they're charging for dock mounts or wall mounts. I didn't want to use a wall mount with a hand crank. I don't want to add anything to the wall. I want to be able to remove it from the water. If I ever move or sell it, I could go ahead and just sell it, probably for more than what I paid for it, since I assembled it and it's all completely done. Most of the welds on this, I could just show you some of the welds, are really nice construction. I mean, it's a quality construction. They really do a great job on it. The Jackstock guys are fantastic. Their customer support is bar none the best I've ever dealt with, and I've dealt with many companies in the industries, computer industry and manufacturing, and these guys are just fantastic. I mean, I had one little issue with shipping, and FedEx damaged some product. Unfortunately, Jackstock took care of it. They just sent it right out to me. Very responsive to email. I have no problems getting in touch with them. They're fantastic people. I highly recommend them. We're going to be putting this in the water, and we're going to be adjusting the boards this week. I got them set for 2 feet across, and hopefully everything is going to go smooth. The unit itself weighs approximately, without the panels, if I remove the panels, the entire unit weighs about 125 pounds. So it's easily moved by 4 people. And I have a very shallow area in my water where I'm going to be putting it. I'm going to be putting it right there off of that extension on the wall there. And we get about 2 feet as we move out 9 feet. So the unit is 9 feet long, and it's going to be sitting right here in the lake, right against this portion of the wall. And that's where I'm going to be sitting the unit. I'm going to level out the feet. Pretty much my beach area is nice and level, so I only have a little bit of work to do there, raking and getting everything lined up. But overall, it's going to be a perfect addition to my lake home. Thanks again, Jackstock. Hope you guys liked the video. Any questions, feel free to leave in the comments. Thanks.